Hello, so today's video is about how to solve problems with one hand when your problem involves your hand. So I'm putting it down here because I have this long sleeve shirt on, and I had these bangles on before I put the shirt on. Can you see the bangles? They're like trapped in here. And the bangles are actually really hard for me to take on and take off. So I left them on since last night, and then now this morning I want to put on this shirt, which I did, but now I want to get the bangles out from underneath the shirt so they can actually be visible. And I'm gonna put you over here. Okay, so to do this is it's a beast, to say the least, because I can't pull the sleeve, and so I have to sort of engineer a solution of how do I pull the sleeve back and the bangles forward. And so I have been trying to do this for the last 15 minutes, and it hasn't worked. And then I thought about I should record this and put it on the YouTube to possibly show how to do this if I figure it out, and also to show just how to cultivate patience and how to cultivate resilience and how to cultivate inner strength and resolve, will. And so, yes, this is what I'm going to be showing you. So you also gotta learn how to think, learn how to critically think. And the other thing, you're not gonna be able to see my face while I do this because of the angle, but the other thing I have to think about is I'm paying attention to how is the fabric moving when I pull it a certain way. Where are the forces? If I was to draw a series of vectors that point towards where the tension is, this is engineering terms, but paying attention to the mechanics, the physics of what's happening with the sleeve as I pull it, and understanding what is the resistance that is stopping me and stopping the bangles. So here we go. Here's Spartus. Hi. Hold on. So Sparta, this is not quite ideal. So yeah, I'm gonna be using my foot a lot. You gotta kind of be creative here. Let me see if I can better position you. Okay, there we go. So first, I've been trying to use, okay, there we go. First, I've been, wow, okay. First, I've been trying to use my foot to hold the sleeve, and then like this. I'm just gonna show you. I don't need to use words, but trying to do like this and pull it, and it's not working. And then I get this cramp in my foot. So, okay, so then I try to, sit maybe this way, move this guy right here. Okay, so I've been trying to do this, trying to get, okay, Sparta, trying to, yeah, and it just doesn't, this shirt is very tight, and there's not a whole lot of movement happening, and anytime I pull, it just bounces back. It doesn't actually progress. So bangles, I can feel them. There's 5 of them, so that doesn't help the number. But do you see how this cuff is so tight that trying to get the bangles to go underneath that cuff is not proving to be easy. So then I try to use my mouth and pull it back, but then it ends up moving the bangles with it. So let's try this again. Sparta, this cat is not being very helpful. Okay. We're doing trying to do this. Okay, we like to have all the attention to ourselves. So I won't record this whole thing actually, because you're just going to be staring at me with biting at this like this. And yeah, see, one of the things why I spend so much time figuring out things by myself before I do them in public is because it's kind of humiliating, right? Like, it's kind of humiliating for me to sit here and have to use my mouth to do this. And that's another thing that, you know, in today's world, a lot of us are very soft. We're very, we get offended easily. We get triggered. We find reasons to be upset so often. And you won't survive that way, you know. And doing challenging things like this, you have to build resolve and confidence. Otherwise, you'll just fall apart all the time. And then what kind of life are you really living at that point, right? And I had a point that I just forgot. Oh, humility. Yeah, so this is kind of humiliating, right? I'm here, I'm having to use my mouth because I don't have an arm, you know, and it's kind of humiliating. But why put this on camera? Because humility is actually a lesson. Humility is as a building block to strength. You know, if you have the courage to be humiliated, that is a level of strength that will serve you in so many ways. You know, humiliation is something that a lot of us will run away from, and we will avoid taking risks. We will avoid going after what we want. We will avoid speaking our truth. We will avoid doing the right thing or whatever it is, because we don't want to be humiliated, you know, and we will run away from being our true selves, all because we're afraid that we'll be humiliated. And humility kind of comes, it's kind of a part of it. It's a part of the game. It's a part of being your full-fledged human self. Is, do you have the humility to do that? And then also, do you have the humility to clean up things when you make mistakes and when you do something wrong? So why am I saying all this? Because the more comfortable that you can get with the feeling of humility, the more powerful you become, and the less humility controls you. Because if you are trying to avoid being humiliated, your humiliation is actually controlling you, and therefore you are already in the very thing that you are trying to run away from, because it's controlling you. It's over you, right? And so you're so afraid to go in it, but it's not. You don't have to go in it because it's already above you. Does that make sense? So, anyways, that's why I sit here on my closet floor, pulling at my shirt with my mouth to try to get my bracelets to come out of the shirt, because I'm practicing being humiliated, and I'm practicing patience, and I'm building resolve and strength. And this is why I will always say that our disabilities, whether that be physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, whatever it is actually our greatest teacher, in the very jungle gym, the very obstacle course that is the perfect strength test to build ourselves into the person that we were born to be. So, here we go. The other thing about this is that I don't want to ruin this shirt by this is Ralph Lauren, so I don't want to ruin this shirt. But what else are you gonna do? And people could say, Faith, you could just go ask someone to help you, which I will probably end up going and doing. I'll probably end up asking someone on my way to where I'm going, saying, hey, can you please pull my shirt sleeve back so I can get my bracelets out? And that is another practice of humiliation and courage. Do you have the courage to ask for help when you physically can't help yourself? Like myself in this situation. And that takes courage and vulnerability. But vulnerability is the place where we actually have true connection, you know? Like, I've had so many beautiful moments with complete strangers, all because I had the courage to be vulnerable, and we had a human to human moment, you know? And people feel lonely in the world, but people aren't being vulnerable either. So if you don't want to be lonely, then you have to be vulnerable. Because even if you're around people and you have, like this, you're having conversations, but there's no vulnerability or authenticity of your true self, I guarantee you're still going to feel lonely in that conversation, because you are alone with your own self. You're not even with yourself, you and you, to begin with. So how can you actually be with another person if you're not even with yourself? So, yep. And that's what I'm going to do at this point, because I've now spent 20 minutes trying to fix this stupid problem. And anger is also a natural part of the process. So I'll be going and asking some beautiful stranger to please pull my shirt sleeve back so I can have the bracelets out. Anyways, I love you. Take care of yourself, and we will talk soon. Ciao.